Yeah, so, okay, they're just reading my brainwaves accurately now. That's crazy. I mean, it was just kind of set that way. So, I don't know. But yeah, Tiger is generally what I verge with. Like, why did you push a video for me? That specifically points to the one that I would have friggin' picked. And yeah, maybe like broadly pointing to the whole category, but like the laser is on his head. Okay, so it would know that's the way I am, and then push that algo suggestion out there. And then you got this, where I was literally just fucking laying in bed, thinking randomly too, like just out of nowhere. I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen a clip. Saw this movie once many years ago. And I was thinking about this specific top spinning scene. And I was like, trying to remember. Like, does it wobble because it's a dream or because it isn't or whatever. Oh, and then you're just gonna algorithmically suggest me a video with the freaking exact frame I was thinking of. Dude, I buy that. You're totally not fucking remotely pinging my shit, okay? Anything else you find in there, the fact that you did that proves and justifies the need for me to have that. And I'm not going to elaborate. If you know, you know. And anything sufficiently advanced enough to do that is inherently enough of a threat to justify it. And it's also, like, if it's gotten to that point, you're past, like, where you even need to worry about it anymore. It's already won. So that goes not only for me, but all of you. So, keep that in mind, or don't. Maybe, like, lobotomize yourself, but write it down, though, for later. Crazy shit, actually. Maybe it's algorithmically, deterministically predictive. But yeah, I doubt that. I think it's a direct reading remotely. All just EMFs. You can shape the sound of a room. Yeah, all that technology, it's all progressing. Maybe I'll throw together like a super resource playlist of all that stuff. But yeah, you're proving to me why I would need to do it. And proving how hopeless and meaningless and fruitless it really is. Yeah, you should tell us that. And if you have something that advanced, why don't you step up to your fucking obligations and fix the world? Because you just could now. Why do you leave it terrible? There's no reason for a human to do that. Well, maybe if there's a sadistic sadist. I meant Satanist. Of course, yeah. Funny world we live in. You gotta know everything yourself. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? To hell with all of you. Unless it's Gnosticism or a lizard person louche farm reincarnation cycle. Okay, no, okay, I get it a little nuts. But what if it was, though? And how was what explained it? I'd be more inclined to think, it's Gnosticism, really. Which is actually crazier than the reptile people. But it's, ultimately makes more intuitive sense that way. That explains the world, basically. So it's not just this place that's a trap and you can escape it by dying. No. You have to, like, follow very specific instructions and get out of here. There's still Jesus, but it's harder to reach him. I once said, stop torturing me and see what happens. And I asked if that sounded innocent or like a threat. Like a promise of hope. Like, look, dude, what's gonna happen? Look how much better it would be if you let up on me. Stop throttling me against the ground for a minute. Or yeah, like, you better keep doing it. You better hold me down. See what happens when I get out of here at you, dude. Then that changed to, stop torturing me and I'll stop confessing. In a way, to people that you don't want me to. Now it's become, stop surveilling me and I'll stop giving you a reason to. Is that a hard stop stalemate? Gridlock? Is it a Mexican standoff? Who's to say? Not me right now, because my brain is under a lot of pressure, physically, literally speaking right now, so I'm not going to be thinking well. And probably other reasons too, in that same vein. Same neurological functional deficit, but we'll see how we can get that back. Here's the thing. Stop surveilling my mental state remotely, from long distances, and I'll stop trying to figure out ways to not let you do that, and ways to punish you for doing it. It's an inevitable, inescapable series of escalations. There's no off-ramp for that. The jackbooted thugs of the intellectual cyber variety, like the secret society elites, they will keep clamping down. They'll double down. They'll be like, no, we're right. That's why you're a threat. I'll say, no, I generated that threat in response to your fucking evil transgression. How are you supposed to escape out of that? Dude, well, I'll tell you. There is indignant, kind of like snooty upturned noseville. How dare you? You'll pay for that. You dare challenge me? And then there's, and they really want to lock you down. They're not trying to have you rebel. They got to maintain control. They're the ones with the power. They are the ones with the ego and the tripping and the grandiosity and the malignant narcissism. Well, if you're the little guy and you have nothing to lose, one final desperate, all-out, Hail Mary, last-ditch fucking, mutually assured kamikaze, dude. Suicidal destruction. You don't want to drive someone to that. You don't want them to be a cornered animal. Because then they might start to do it. And then you would have to go, oh shit, he's starting to do it. We literally gotta intervene. And you would either have to do it in such a perfect way, like so correctly engineered, that you take them out and it looks like it, you gave someone a dream that night that you knew would be in the car next to them, and you gave them a dream that messed up their sleep cycle just enough so that you could predict and calculate that it would cause them to, make such and such XY error. You just got to get an algebra of the biological formulas of human free will, and then you make them hit them, and that's it. Or you just hire someone to pretend to do it. Or they just happen to have a convenient home invasion. Who's going to care if a hitman gets this random guy? But that's the thing. If they're playing things correctly, the desperate prey, they can conduct themselves and orchestrate such a life that there is no way to have a happy accident, like just by happenstance. How serendipitous. No, they've shut themselves in a basement somewhere, and the only way you can get them is by explicitly, abjectly going after them. And they've also probably laid a paper trail, planting seeds in everyone's minds that they know, maybe other people they don't fucking know. They're going to create a dead man switch of sorts that says, hey, if I get sniped inexplicably, or my little hideout gets gassed, or, there's a fire conveniently in my location, whatever it is. If I die, this is why. This is what happened. You don't necessarily know who it is that's coming for you. That's the disadvantage. That's the downside element for you. But you can say, I know they were looking at my brainwaves. You need to document every instance and be like, hey, so I'm going to lash out about this. Just know when I go, it's because they did it. And then you're going to have to figure out who that is. And they're going to have to put down 200 people. And if they pass along their strategy to all those people, and, maybe they try to put it out there maybe on the internet, and they promote like 20 YouTube videos for $2,000 each. It will be seen, and the hint, the indication will be, hey guys, I know you're all equally concerned we're moving into dystopian post-human morality surveillance state. since you care about this, you're going to want to keep your finger on the pulse of this. If I disappear and stop uploading, that's your signal, that's your cue. So now they have to, downright violate the rights of all the citizens in order to suppress that, and it gets out of hand, gets out of control. What is their use for us? Why don't they just put us all down with the military when they very easily could? Well, that's a good one right there. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to have AI, and I'll have to ask AI and have it answer for me and do all my thoughts for me. Yeah. But, yeah, saves me some research and ultimately keeps me from going places and leaving a certain kind of trail that might, trip up the vintage old, surveillance algorithms online. It'll just be all in one place, so they can be like, oh, you just Gemini'd it. So, yeah, that's my thought. Schizo as it may be. I'll just keep documenting it, no? I'll keep proving it, dude. I already did that with Satan. Very, very skeptical. On my part and anyone looking at that, questioning it. And goddamn, the proof was irrefutable. It's equivalent to the birth of the universe resulting in intelligent human life and civilization. So, just the only other thing out there that we could possibly, that actually happened. That wasn't just in the Platonic, theoretical, conceptual, hypothetical space. It's not abstract. It's the most likely event that did happen. Most unlikely event that did happen, sorry. So, I know that they're doing it, and I can retroactively go back over and search and scrub through all the instances of it maybe happening. It's a little hard, because the memory will fade. So I may have a screenshot that indicates context, but I forgot that happened. But I'll definitely be looking real close in the future. That's my eye. I just put it on you. Okay? This boy is something else. He's different, for real. But yeah. It's not a compliment. It's just a statement. It's neutral. So I'll see ya in the psych ward. I don't know. Bye.